Hey, what is up? Happy Monday, people. It is the Oracle at Mushin here, bringing you a tarot card reading. And I'm going to do it a little bit different today. So there's three tarot cards here, two Oracle cards. I'm going to give everybody like this universal Oracle card at the beginning. At the end, I'll give everybody a animal spirit card. But you get this option this time. You can pick card number one, card number two, or card number three. And that will be more refined for you. And that being said, if you pick a card, it doesn't mean that the other cards aren't going to have anything for you. It just means that card will have a more poignant message for you. And something else that I'd like to add is some of these things you have to think about for a while and really mull it over. Don't discredit it right away, or really think about how it relates to your life. That being said, I'm going to get into the Oracle card for this week, and it is children. That's kind of a heavy one, and I don't think that it means that you're going to have children. Some of you might get that news, but I think it's more about kind of getting to take a fresh approach to your week, getting a new insight, the birth of something new into your life, and it's very auspicious that this came up on when I'm doing a new style of reading, I feel like. So that's very invigorating, and I dig it a lot. There's also these pink flowers in there. Pink is relative to the emotional heart, so it's kind of this restoration of your emotional heart, being able to see the world with the eyes of a kid again, this brand new outlook on life. And then there's also this dove in there. Doves are symbols of peace, prosperity, all of this kind of good stuff. So it's just bringing some kind of calm to your mind. So we're going to jump into the tarot cards. And if you thought I was going to start with card one first, you were mistaken. I'm going to start with card two. And it is abundance. It's in the reverse. The reversal of that would pretty much indicate if you want abundance, you might have to work some things out, because the reversal is preventing it from flowing fluidly, and it doesn't mean that you're tapped out of abundance. It means, again, that you might have to put a little bit more I don't want to say effort, because that's not the right word. You might have to really reevaluate everything. And this comes up in bows. Bows is relative to wands in traditional tarot. Wands are all about creativity. It is the element of fire, which is represented here. And the main concept of this, looking at the symbolism of it, is the more that you invest your creative ideas and kind of couple them together and unify them, the brighter your fire will burn. A lot of times we have lots of disjointed efforts, and this is interesting. This is just on a side note, and it relates to where I'm at, in the sense that I'm beginning to understand how to unify stuff, and I'm formulating a plan on how to unify things so I can make the shine of it brighter. And that's the general concept of this. Organize your creative ideas so they can be one unified whole, and that will be unique to what everybody else is presenting, and just rock it. With that being said, we will move on to our threes. And our threes get the Fool. And the Fool is also in the reverse. So we'll turn that around. And the reversal for the Fool would be rushing headlong into things without any preparation. And this kind of pulled my card as well, in the sense of that's part of the issue that I face with some of the things in the podcast and everything that I do, is that I haven't planned it out. So this would indicate that being open to new things is really great, and going into it with no expectations is wonderful, but having some concept of where you want to head out is sometimes necessary. So you need to have this openness and this emptiness, but still kind of know what you want, I guess, and be willing to step out on faith. The other element of the Fool being in the reverse position is kind of, I don't want to say lack of faith, because that's not the right thing. Maybe it's misinterpreted faith, or misunderstanding that you can be open and willing to receive things, but do it in a way that's healthy rather than that can create chaos for you internally. So threes, be ready for kind of this new chapter, this new unfolding, and it ties into children. And I'll actually go through all of this, filter all of these through the Oracle card here in a second. But yeah, just be open to new experiences. Then we transition to our ones, who got balance in the reverse position. And so balance is really all about, obviously, finding your center point, but it's also about this unification of polarities. And that would be the unification of masculine and feminine, light and shadow, rest and work, finding this center point. And earlier on in the podcast, I have talked about this concept of balance being bullshit, that harmony is where it's at. And that concept really changed when I read something that was talking about this concept of masters constantly are working on striving more towards the center point. So it's a process of achieving balance, and it's not something that we can actively accomplish right away. So my ones, you are going to begin this process of working more towards equilibrium and gradually and incrementally moving the dial until you get to the center point where everything kind of evens out, and it'll make you feel so much happier, where you're getting the return on the work that you're putting out. You're having enough time to rest. You'll have enough time alone. You have enough time with other people. And that may sound idyllic, but it's absolutely, absolutely possible. And then we are going to go into the spirit animal card, the gazelle. Oh, wow, that's a very pretty card. That's from the Animal Spirit Oracle deck, Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle deck. So looking at the colors that are represented there, it is this yellow, this orange, and the red. So it's three of the lower chakras, and not lower in regards to their rating, but in regards to where they're positioned on the body. So red would be the material world, kind of making these this quickness in changing your material world. And that change in the material world is reflected through this concept of the sacral chakra and the creativity that you're embodying. And that creativity is going to be expanding and increasing, kind of like this gazelle. And then there's also this yellow in there, which would be the faster evolution of your self-confidence and of your personhood. And those actually all relate to the three cards that came up. Right now, I'm kind of in awe of how this reading came out in a big way. So I'm going to condense it all down into like one big message for everybody. Now, this last message is for everybody listening. So this week, you have the potential to see the world in this whole new light. You'll tap into the openness of the Fool. You will begin to kind of unify a lot of your creative principles to make it a stronger force. And you're going to have this balancing concept of all of these elements of your life, or begin to work towards it. And it really comes down to the Fool has the confidence. The abundance is all about creating that abundance, and the balance is all about the material world, which is represented in the gazelle. And the other aspect of the gazelle that I didn't touch on is really this sense of grace. So when you begin to get this fresh perspective and you temper it with confidence, infuse your creativity, and balance things out in your life, there's going to be this grace that is unprecedented, that makes people think that it's so easy, but it's really this process of refinement that you've cultivated over an extended period of time. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you want to get a personal reading, you can go to theoracle@mushin.com. Or if you want to sign up for my newsletter, you can get 50% off your first reading. That's off of any service. I also offer a money-back guarantee, which is like unprecedented in this business. I'm that confident that you'll enjoy what you like. And if not, I don't need your money that bad. So yeah, go to oracle@mushin.com, sign up to get the 50% discount. I'll take down your email. You'll get 50%. And I won't spam you or anything like that. It really will just be to communicate sales, give you exclusive readings that I'm not going to be releasing in this format, and just kind of tell you where I'm going to be at publicly in case you wanted to meet up or let you know about other events going on. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope to hear from you soon as well. Peace.